Coming up on Vegas Nation Blitz, 2 wins in 1 week as the Raiders beat the Patriots at home.
Yeah, it's super exciting to get the win, especially at home again. I know the fans love it, so we just got to keep going.
Unfortunately, Jimmy Garoppolo left the building due to injury. We will see which quarterback will lead the team into battle, this time against the Chicago Bears. Vegas Nation Blitz starts now.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Blitz. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
The Raiders are 3-3 on the season after beating the New England Patriots 21-17 on Sunday. Message from the team? Wasn't the prettiest win, but they were able to get the job done.
It's always good to win in this league. Just trying to stack the days, Gritty win this week, gritty win last week. A win is a win, though. I love it. It's still a little chippy, because we still feel like there's a lot more that we need to do. We feel like we should have won a little more convincingly. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's hard to get wins in this league. And we'll take them however we can get them.
Now, unfortunately for the Raiders, quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo suffered an injury on Sunday. He left the building in an ambulance after suffering a back injury at the end of the first half, and he was obviously unable to return to the game. So what's his status looking like in preparation for Sunday's matchup in Chicago? We're gonna hear more on that in just a little bit, but first, it's time for some fast takes from Adam Hill.
Yes, it's time for fast takes, and we start with a simple truth. Sometimes how you play isn't as important as who you play and when, and the Raiders are taking advantage of that right now. The Packers might be better later in the season. They got to take advantage of them with no Aaron Jones, and when they were struggling, they get the win. The Patriots are a mess right now. They get a win against them, and now they play a Bears team that has no Justin Fields, most likely, going to Tyson Bagent, who is a small school guy, doesn't have a whole lot of experience at all. Maybe another chance to take advantage of a depleted team. The Raiders are able to rack up wins here at a time when their opponents are not very good, but you've got to do that in the NFL. It's very important to get the wins when you have them, and they've got them laid out in front of them right now. A 2-game swing to the Midwest. They don't get so lucky on the second part of that trip as they play the Detroit Lions, who are playing very, very well, but they've got to take advantage of this opportunity against the Bears coming up this week. A key game if the Raiders are to have any hopes for this season. And as we continue to talk about this season, of course, a lot of focus has been on Davante Adams. We talked about him a lot here already, but keep in mind, 30.1% target share. He's still getting targeted a lot as a whole, just hasn't been able to get those opportunities the last 2 games. But don't be surprised if Davante Adams has some breakout games coming up ahead.
By far, one of the biggest storylines from Sunday's game happened right before halftime with Jimmy G getting injured. Review Journal's Heidi Fang caught all of the action as it happened. She is the host of our post-game podcast, and she is joining us now. Heidi, what was it like in the stadium as fans realized that Garoppolo was hurt?
Well, it's pretty wild because you had Jimmy Garoppolo exit right before halftime, as you mentioned. Once he was out of the game, Brian Hoyer comes into the game. The crowd actually booed Brian Hoyer. That was pretty loud and resonating, and I wasn't sure why the fans would boo Brian Hoyer. My only guess is they wanted to see another look at rookie Aiden O'Connell under center, but they had Brian Hoyer there. But I'll tell you what, once he threw a 48-yard strike to Trey Tucker, those boos were silenced, but they were heard. They were definitely heard.
And you were there for a very pivotal moment not too many people behind the scenes got to see.
Yeah, what happened, Dre, I was actually in the post-game press conference room setting up for after the game, getting my cameras ready and whatnot. As I walked out, the ambulance that was parked right there in front of the Raiders locker room, and there I saw Jimmy G get out, walk on his own. He got into the ambulance on his own and also was then transported.
Now, Heidi, you tweeted about the scene, and that tweet got more than 1.8 million views. So we definitely appreciate you bringing all of the fast takes to our viewers. And you're headed on the road for this matchup, so what do you think we can expect from the Raiders in Chicago?
For the Raiders, I think it's going to be interesting going in. Not quite sure yet who's going to be starting a quarterback. Will it be Aiden O'Connell? Will it be Brian Hoyer? And then for the Bears, you got Tyson Bagent, undrafted free agent rookie. We're going to see what happens with him when he gets on the field, how this works out, because Justin Fields is dealing with that dislocated thumb. So, I think this team can't underestimate it as any team in the NFL, any given Sunday. So looking forward to see how this all plays out once they get into Chicago, Dre.
DNR House of Diamonds is Las Vegas's elite private office jeweler, the perfect bridge between internet pricing and a traditional brick-and-mortar jewelry store. We specialize in loose diamonds, natural and lab-grown, engagement rings, fashion jewelry, custom design, and jewelry repairs. We operate by appointment in our beautiful offices in the One Summerlin building, downtown Summerlin. Our great relationships with the world's largest diamond wholesalers and our low overhead saves you hundreds, if not thousands, on your purchase.
Now let's check on some key numbers from the Raiders' win over the Patriots. 0.5. Two guys got there, so it only counts as half, but it was a key moment in the game as Max Crosby and Bilal Nichols met in the end zone to take down Mac Jones for a safety. 4. 4 for 4 for Daniel Carlson Sunday, making all of his field goal attempts. 5. Michael Mayer and Jacoby Myers led the team in receiving with 5 catches each. 6. Brian Hoyer came in after halftime, going 6 of 10 on his passing attempts. 25. The total number of carries for Josh Jacobs on Sunday? 5,052. Josh Jacobs reached a milestone totaling over 5,000 career rushing yards with the Raiders. Joining me now in studio is Review Journal sports columnist Sam Gordon. And Sam, it's only been a couple of weeks, but we are back to talking Jimmy Garoppolo health concerns and who will be the Raiders starting quarterback going forward while he is out. If he is out, Josh McDaniels did mention that he may still play in Sunday's game. We got a half of Hoyer, we got a full game of O'Connell. Did Brian Hoyer convince you during that game that he should be the guy to kind of keep the Raiders ship afloat?
I think he did his best job to present a case, Jay. And I think the case was he took care of the football. That is something Aiden O'Connell did not do during his lone start against the Chargers. That being said, I think the offense, the upside with Aiden O'Connell is a little higher. The offense, I think, showed a little bit more juice with him in the game, with Brian Hoyer in the game on Sunday. Only 6 points offensively despite 2 full quarters, right? A number of reasons for that, his play being one of them. That being said, he did push the ball down the field, and that's an element we haven't seen in the passing game with the Raiders with Jimmy Garoppolo or with Aiden O'Connell, really. So I think him taking care of the ball, him pushing the football down the field, yeah, I think he made a heck of a case, and we'll see what Josh McDaniels does. At this point, with the team 3-3, you might be looking at this decision a little differently if they were 1-5, but it's about winning this game. If Brian Hoyer gives him the best shot, I think he'll get to go.
For sure, and he's going to have to find this guy that you've wrote 2 stories about this week, Sam. Jacoby Myers, you wrote that he is adaptable, reliable, accountable, and most importantly, open. Caught the only touchdown for the Raiders on Sunday, Sam, and he'll need to do more of that because Devontae Adams for the last couple games has kind of been missing in action. So let me ask you, is the shoulder worse than we thought it was?
Well, I think the shoulder injury is definitely a piece of it, and there's an element of wanting to protect Devontae Adams. You saw him take a nasty hit going over the middle, but that hit didn't keep him out of the game, and there were still opportunities for him throughout the course of the game on Sunday for the Raiders to get him the ball. They didn't do it. Last 2 games, 9 targets total. That's not good enough for a player of Devontae Adams' caliber, especially with an offense that's failed to crack 20 points this season, Jay, right? The Raiders scored 21 points on Sunday. The offense still scored 19. So you got to find a way to get 17 the ball. I know it's oversimplifying it to a certain degree, but the fact that the offense has struggled this much and that he's not a big part of it is a problem, and I would imagine we're going to see a focus on getting him the ball Sunday, shoulder injury or not. He's too good to be ignored like that, and they got to get him the ball in the passing game.
Well, that'll be what we have to monitor going forward for Sunday's game. Will Devontae Adams get more in action? But I want to thank you all for watching this week's edition of Vegas Nation Blitz. And as always, head on over to vegasnation.com to read all the great work from Sam and the team as we monitor the Raiders quarterback situation going into Chicago. For the rest of our crew, I'm Leandre Fox, and we will see you again on Saturday at 7 a.m. for Vegas Nation Game Day.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Blitz. Presented by DNR House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.